Today we are going to talk about a kind of crossing called drive up. Let's see that with an example. Choose the road to lane vector group and draw two roads. Okay, we are going to make a crossing with that. For that we need that those two roads completely, like they are really crossing. We will just make those points overlap with each other. Use the magnet tool and the transform tool. Click and drag anywhere on the canvas. It will snap the point there where you have the mouse. We are gonna make a drive up, and it means that we will have like a main road and an adjacent road. So a drive up is a type of crossing that always has a main road and one or several more adjacents, at least one. And how is that choice taken? Which one is the main road? It's taking into account several things. For example, the road type. A secondary, if we have two motor waves and a secondary, the secondary will be the adjacent one. Or if one of the roads had a discrepant angle, like here, for example, that one, that's in a completely different direction, that will be like a secondary. But let's see that in WYSIWYG mode. Let's create our crossing so it will be easier to see. So that's our crossing, and we can see here the crossing area. And right now is a normal crossing like the one we have seen in the previous tutorial. Let's change the crossing area, like the texture, to identify it better. So now we see it. That's our crossing area. Let's change it to drive up. So here we have our drive up. That's the main road, and the part with the red crossing area will be like for the drive up. We can change that manually. You just need to select the roads that you want to be the main road, one after the other, and see like the direction of each of them. So in that case it starts there, so we can flag it as a front. And if we go to the other one, we say it's the back one. Now we have that as a main road, and the road on the right will be the adjacent. Just remember when making that manual assignment that you have to be aware of the direction of the vectors. If one vector starts at the crossing, flag it as front. If it ends at the crossing, flag it as back. Now let's take a look to the crossing modifier. In the crossing attribute, always in element mode, so that we just edit that crossing. We can change the curve offset, or we can check it again to see the difference. And we can, it's a bit too big, so I'm gonna reduce it. And we can also change the transition offset. Everything else works exactly as in the crossing. You can also edit the WYSIWYG helpers manually. You can edit the crossing curves like here, or you can give a different marking to the crossing internal roads. And that's it. We've seen a type of crossing called drive up. We've seen how to edit it. We've seen how to change one main road into a drive up and a drive up into a main road. And that's all for today. See you next time.